The screen went black for exactly 3 seconds. Then Miller's own voice filled the chamber. I have never instructed anyone to alter border statistics. That has never happened. Not once, not ever. Congressman Ted Lieu let it play for 11 more seconds. Then he stopped it, froze the frame. Miller's face, 15 feet tall on the screen behind him, saying the words, never happened. And Lieu turned to the witness table where Miller was sitting right now under oath and said 4 words that made the entire room explode. Let me show you. Because what Lieu was about to play was not a leaked clip, not anonymous footage. It was an official DHS internal meeting video, with timestamps, with metadata, with Miller's face in crystal clear resolution doing exactly what he just said on Fox News never happened. Let me set the scene. House Judiciary Committee, Room 254, Wednesday afternoon, 2:34 p.m. Eastern. The hearing was supposed to be routine oversight. But Lieu walked in carrying something that changed everything. A silver external hard drive. Security scanned it twice. Lieu smiled and said 5 words. Government property, legally obtained, subpoenaed. Miller had no idea what was on that drive. His attorneys had no idea. They were about to find out with the entire country watching live. The first hour followed standard procedure. Questions about budget allocations, enforcement priorities, policy implementation. Miller gave his standard answers. Confident, controlled. He checked his notes 3 times. He thought he knew how this would end. Then Lieu took the microphone. Mr. Miller. Lieu's voice was calm, measured, the tone of someone who has already won and is just walking through the formalities. On February 9th of this year, you appeared on Fox News, Hannity's show, Primetime. Do you remember that interview? Miller nodded. I do many media appearances. I cannot recall every specific interview from... I am not asking about every interview. Lieu opened his laptop. I am asking about one specific interview, February 9th, because in that interview you made a very clear statement about border statistics, and I want to make sure we have your words exactly right before I show this committee what I found. He turned his laptop toward the document camera. The Fox News transcript appeared on every monitor in the room. Quote, Sean Hannity asks you, have you or anyone in your office ever been involved in changing or adjusting official border crossing numbers? And your answer, Mr. Miller, was this. He paused. I have never instructed anyone to alter border statistics. That has never happened. Not once, not ever. Our numbers are accurate, transparent, and verified by career professionals. End quote. Lieu looked up. Mr. Miller, do you stand by that statement today under oath in front of this committee? Do you maintain that you have never instructed anyone to alter border statistics? Miller leaned forward slightly. Absolutely, Congressman. That statement is accurate. I have never instructed anyone to falsify data or manipulate statistics in any way. Perfect. Lieu closed his laptop. Then this should be very easy to explain. He picked up a small remote control, nodded to the AV technician. The lights dimmed slightly. The main screen flickered to life. And what appeared on that screen made every journalist in the room reach for their phone. The video was not a news clip, not a leaked recording. It was an official DHS internal meeting video. Date stamp in the corner. February 3rd, 6 days before Miller went on Fox News and said it never happened. Location stamp. DHS Office of Policy, Conference Room B. And sitting at the head of the table, clearly visible, was Stephen Miller. The audio was perfect. No static, no distortion. Miller's voice came through clearly. We have a problem with the current reporting structure. The actual encounter numbers are creating a narrative problem. We need to adjust the methodology, not falsify, adjust. Use the policy discretion we have to present the data in a way that supports the mission. A voice off camera, one of the staffers. You want us to change the numbers we report to Congress? Miller's response was immediate. I want you to use the alternative calculation method we discussed, the one that accounts for procedural removals differently. It is still accurate. It is just framed better. Lieu froze the video. Let that last sentence hang in the air. It is still accurate. It is just framed better. He turned to Miller. That is you on February 3rd instructing staff to use an alternative calculation method for border statistics. 6 days later, you went on Fox News and said you never instructed anyone to alter border statistics. Which statement is true? The room erupted, not gradually, instantly. Journalists reaching for phones, committee members talking over each other, cameras repositioning frantically, the chairman banging his gavel so hard it echoed like gunshots. Miller sat frozen. His face had drained of color, not pale, drained, like blood had actively left his face in real time. His lead attorney was on his feet, mouth open, trying to form words that were not coming. But Lieu was not done. He pressed play again. The meeting continued. Another voice. A woman asking a question. If we use the alternative method, what happens to the encounters that don't get counted under the new calculation? Miller's answer on the video: they go into a separate database, internal use only, not for congressional testimony. The woman again: is that legal? Miller: it is policy discretion. We are not hiding data, we are organizing it appropriately. Lieu stopped the video. He looked at Miller: not hiding data, organizing it appropriately. On February 9th, you told the American people on national television that you never instructed anyone to alter statistics. But on February 3rd, this video shows you instructing staff to use an alternative calculation, put data in a separate database, and specifically noting it is not for congressional testimony. Then the number that made the room go quiet again. That Fox News interview was not the only time Miller made this claim. Between February 9th and March 15th, Miller made 11 separate public appearances. Fox News, Newsmax, a Bannon podcast, a Hugh Hewitt radio interview, and in every single one he repeated the same line: never instructed anyone to alter statistics, never happened. 11 times, all after the February 3rd meeting, all on video. He set the paper down. Mr. Miller, that is not a mistake. That is not a miscommunication. That is a coordinated media strategy to deny something you knew was on video. Then the second video, same conference room, different date, March 8th, Miller again at the head of the table. And this time the conversation was not about methodology, it was about the first meeting. A staffer on screen, clearly nervous. Mr. Miller, there is concern that the February 3rd directive could be subject to congressional inquiry. If asked directly, how should we characterize the alternative calculation? Miller on screen, no hesitation. We never had that conversation. If anyone asks, we use standard CBP methodology. No alternative systems, no separate databases. That meeting never happened. Lieu froze it. That meeting never happened. He turned to Miller. On March 8th, 1 month after the meeting where you instructed staff to use alternative calculations, you told those same staff members to deny the meeting ever occurred. And then 6 weeks later, you sat in front of this committee and repeated that denial under oath. Mr. Miller, that is not policy discretion. That is not statistical methodology. That is obstruction. You created a false statistical system. You ordered staff to hide it. You went on national television 11 times to deny it. And you instructed witnesses to lie about it if asked. That is a federal crime. Miller's attorney stood. Objection. My client has not been charged with any crime, and these accusations are. This is not an accusation. Lieu did not even look at the attorney. This is evidence. Video evidence. Metadata confirmed. Subpoena authorized. Government produced. And entered into the congressional record as of right now. He turned to the committee chairman. Mr. Chairman, I move to refer this matter to the Department of Justice for criminal investigation into potential violations of 18 U.S.C. 1311, false statements, and 18 U.S.C. 1505, obstruction of congressional proceedings. The motion was seconded immediately. The chairman called for a vote. It passed. Miller's face went white. The videos exist. The metadata is verified. The subpoena is legal. And Miller just got referred to the Department of Justice for lying to Congress and the American people 11 times, knowing the video existed. That is not a mistake. That is a pattern.